Alright, so I keep bumping my side buttons on my phone and my video keeps stopping, so I guess this will be a 3-part video. So anyhow, I hadn't made a couple videos in a little while, so I did something recently that I was like a little embarrassed about, so I wasn't making any videos. But now I kind of got to the point where I think it's funny, so I'll tell the story. But I yeah, and second of all, I'm as I'm making more and more videos, obviously I've been using my cell phone, and that hasn't worked well with turning on and off and not seeing much. So I'm really thinking about upping my game and getting like a GoPro or something like that, so I can make these videos a little bit easier. Um, so anyhow, it's the funniest story, and I feel silly about myself, but I'll tell the story because it's I don't know. So anyhow, I got that '68 Mustang. I'm reacquainting myself with working on older cars again. So I had this knowledge when I was younger, and it just passed me by. So anyhow, when I get the car, none of the gauges are working, the gas gauge, none of that stuff, and it was because I needed to replace this voltage regulator. So first couple months I had the car, I had no way of knowing how much gas I had. So I would just stop periodically and get some gas. And I just didn't drive a whole lot. So I went to fix this gas gauge, and I bought the voltage regulator. I take the dash apart, and I fixed this voltage regulator, and I had to modify it slightly, and use a good bit of my mechanical skill to just take the dash apart, you know what I mean, and fix this thing. So I was really excited, and I thought, as soon as I turn the key, the gas gauge is going to go up, and then it's going to be proof positive that I fixed this car, and I was going to be all happy and stuff like that, because I really thought that I had gas in the car, and that's the whole key to the story. So anyhow, I'm driving down the road, and the car just starts to like bonk out on me. I mean, it's just like and just shuts off. So I'm like, oh crap. So I steer it off alongside the road, let it come to a rest, put it in park, let it sit for like just a couple seconds, and I turn the key and it fires right back up. I'm like, cool. So I rev it a few times, and then I go ahead and put it in gear and take back off, and everything's cool, and the car takes back off. But just short way up the road again, it starts to do the thing again. My mind's wandering, and I'm like, what could it be? Is this like an ignition problem? Because these older cars are simple. It's either like you're not getting spark or you're not getting fuel. So pretty basic stuff. I'm thinking spark. I'm not thinking fuel because I got a lot of gas in the car. At least that's what I think. So I'm able to get the car home. I don't think much about it. The next day, I go to take it out again. It does the same thing. It starts shutting off on me. So I literally get it to a gas station, of all places. I'm sitting in the corner of a gas station, and I think that the car's got no spark. I'm thinking, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I got to fix the distributor cap. I got to do this. I got to check my spark plugs. I'm thinking all ignition-based stuff. So I talked to a friend of mine. He goes, man, that sounds like your car is actually starved for fuel if it's shutting off like that. He goes, ignition would just kill it. It wouldn't like stumble like that at all. So I was like, okay, well maybe it is gas related. And I'm thinking, okay, well my filters must be clogged or my something like that. So I replace all the fuel filters, and then that doesn't really help it. So I'm like, well shit, it's got to be the fuel pump. Fuel pump must not be pumping gas, even though I hear it working and stuff. So I go to the parts store, I get a fuel pump, I jack the car all up, get underneath it, get all my tools, just swapping out the fuel pump. I'm actually kind of excited to be doing the work and stuff like that, and feeling kind of satisfied that I'm actually doing it, and I'm probably going to solve the problem. So I get the fuel pump completely swapped out. I'm like literally making the last electrical connector, and I'm doing it, with all this care, and putting everything back up in there. And I'm laying underneath the back of this car, and I'm looking up, and there's the gas tank above me, and it just hits me. Man, is this thing just out of gas? Like literally, and I go ting 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 and tap on the gas tank, and it's empty. So here I ran the car out of gas and just didn't know any better. So feel like a complete fool. Had to actually get a tow truck to tow the car home when it was sitting at a gas station. So I'm an idiot, whatever, I'm moving on from that. So that was my big thing, learning lesson with this car, is not to overthink this thing, and it's not complicated, and dang it, if it's acting like it's not having any gas, it's probably because it's out of gas. But silver lining, I go and I put gas in the car, and the gas gauge starts to move up, and now the gas gauge and all the gauges work. So I actually did fix the gauges to begin with. I just thought I didn't, because the gas gauge didn't move at all, because there wasn't any gas in the car. So it was actually working right. I was just convinced there was gas in there. So my bad, I'm an idiot. But that's why I probably haven't made a couple videos in a while, because I was kind of embarrassed about all that. But I'm over it now, and it's all right. I mean, I'm okay with it. So but I'm still excited about the car. I'm not, it didn't dishearten me too much. But a couple other things I did to it. Thanks for letting me tell my little story, and I hope you're all getting a big laugh out of that, because it's actually pretty funny. But whatever, I mean, every once in a while you can be an idiot, and it's okay. So moving on, another thing I did recently is when I got the car, the guy gave me all these old used parts that he had left over for the car. So as you can see, here is an old radiator. Down here is an old like steering rack. Here's some old control arms here. He's even got a set of old heads sitting underneath those valve covers here. So I'm going to see maybe if I can find an old Mustang guy that might be interested in this stuff, and see if maybe he'll make me a trade. These boxes right here are actually motor mounts, and I think this is an old oil pan. So you can see where it's all dented up around there. It's probably cracked or something somewhere. It's ugly. But somebody might be able to use something like that, so they'd even trade me. And then he actually gave me a couple of these old shifters. If I'm not mistaken, that one says Hurst on it. So he gave me an old shifter, and then it's got all the parts and stuff. That's actually a switch right there and stuff like that. And so I actually found a guy online that was asking for anyone that had any of these types of parts and stuff like that. So maybe that guy will give me a few bucks for them. So all those parts were in this trunk of this car, kind of wearing it down. And it's got air shocks. There's a little valve right here. And you actually, I mean, you can put like a bicycle pump even up to it and pump it up. But I have a air jack, and an air line, so I put some air in there, and the car rose up, so the air shocks will raise the car up. I think you can raise it up even more, but I just did it to where I thought it looked good. So it seems like the air shocks are working good. But you can see this is the part of the wire harness that's going down to the backup lights I was talking about earlier in a video. You can see that's all exposed crap, so I've got grommets and stuff like that I'll put in there, clean this all up. So cool. Messed around with the air shocks, got the air shocks working. That was kind of fun. And moving on to the next stuff, been thinking a little more about getting some body work done. you know, tell me what kind of color you think would look good on that car. I'm actually leaning towards like a dark midnight blue. I don't have a good representation of what that color would look like anywhere around here, but you know, it's like a dark blue, like even darker than that, or like that shell, darker than that. I think it would look nice, like a really dark blue, almost kind of like where it would look like it was black almost. So let me know what color you think that car would look good in, and maybe I'll put up some renderings somewhere of different colors. So yep, so you can see here how I wrap the cable with this a little bit better than what they did factory even. So cool. So all right, everyone, hope you're doing well. Hope you're treating everybody good. You know, count your blessings. I'm a lucky person. I mean, look at all these awesome toys I get to play with. Get to fix the rear brakes. I've been watching a ton of videos. So YouTube's pretty cool for me. I like to watch it. All the instructional videos. You know, they're not so fancy video productions. I kind of like that element of it. They're just basic things. I bought this battery charger here. It's actually for outdoor. You can wire it up outdoor. I had that 96 convertible outside with a cover on it, and I wanted to keep the battery plugged in, so I bought this charger. Battery Tender, I seem to have had really good luck with their products in the past, so I've been sticking with them. I think they were one of the first companies to really start doing these smart battery chargers. So, and this piece here on the end is pretty cool. It's I don't know how to explain it. It's basically like a smart connector or something. It transmits via Wi-Fi a whole bunch of information about how your battery's charging and stuff. Which I didn't really spend enough time to get that all hooked up and check it out. But I will at some point. I like that kind of stuff. Internet of Things kind of stuff. So anyhow, all right, everyone. Well, I think I got some stuff to work on today, so I'm gonna shut this video down. But thanks for watching, and like I said, let me know what color you think that Mustang would look good in, and maybe I'll get a couple different renderings done. We can check it out, but I'm thinking dark midnight blue could look really good on that car. All right, have a great day, everyone. Later.